Hey everyone, today we're going to dive into how to create custom BoldTrail neighborhood farm pages that position you as the go-to expert for your area. Whether you farm singles, you know, single family homes or like condo buildings or a whole neighborhood or a zip code, these pages can be really good lead magnets and credibility boosters. So a custom farm page is your digital home base for a specific area. Think of it like a virtual brochure and a local guide. So we're going to highlight what makes the area special. We're going to showcase lifestyle features and link out for resources that help buyers and sellers get to know the neighborhood. And it's going to help present you as the local authority. So, how is it that you're supposed to use this? That's the first question I'm going to get asked. The best part is that once this is live, it works everywhere. So you can point your farming flyers to it with a QR code. You can share it on social media. You can add it to your link in bio. You can put it in email newsletters. You can link it on your website's main menu. And you can even use it at open houses. Every time you drive people there, you're reinforcing your brand in that neighborhood. And, the more eyeballs get used to going to you, the better, right? So, what goes on it? We're going to start with an overview of in lifestyle description. So, what it's like to live there. You might want to show a map with some clear neighborhood boundaries, maybe a real estate snapshot, and then bring in lifestyle elements like dining and shopping, schools, parks, events, and community life stuff. So visuals are key, photos, maybe even a photo gallery. Um, just remember that you have to pull your own photos or take your own photos and things like that. Don't steal other people's work. And you might want to also put in things like transportation info. You can put links to market reports, call to action forms to help generate leads, and links to different related resources. So the structural breakdown is, the top banner. This is the first impression. And so you're going to want to use a strong, inviting image and a short tagline that kind of sells what this page is about and the lifestyle for that area. Here you can see I've included an example. Here's an image of a waterfront with a headline, Luxury Living on Ocean Boulevard. I've also included a short lifestyle tagline that helps solidify what exactly that means. What does it mean, luxury living? We're talking effortless elegance, unbeatable views, and every amenity at your door. So here's where you set the tone. You're going to do a little blurb underneath. You can keep it short, but rich in feeling so people want to live there. You can see, thank you, ChatGPT. I was able to come up with some really cool like descriptions that really sells the California coastal lifestyle. Um, you might want to break things down into smaller pockets or sub areas if that makes sense, each with their own little highlight and a photo. You can see here that I highlighted various beachfront buildings along Ocean Boulevard, including the name of the building, the address, and the year it was built. Along with that, I've included a link to available properties in those buildings. So when you click on the photos, and I'll show you what that looks like on the live version in a moment, when you click on them, it opens up another page on your website and helps drive them into searching for homes. I think it's pretty cool. Another thing you might want to add is amenities and points of interest. So local parks, restaurants, entertainment spots. A bonus if you can link to menus and park maps or event schedules, things like that. And you can see here I have some examples of things like farmers markets, community event schedules and such, but you can put links to local parks or areas of interest around your farm. You want to customize this for you. And then, to give people orientation, I've embedded a Google map with a quick text description. That works great. I can show you later when we get into building this live how to grab a Google map to embed. And I also want to draw attention to the fact that I put a lead capture on this page. It goes immediately to a search alert I created specifically for open houses in the area. It's an email that goes out once a week for those who sign up. So it's all automated after it's set up. You don't have to do anything, and I can show you how to create that as well. So the page builder is exactly like the email builder in BoldTrail. It's pretty customizable with, buttons and columns and forms and all of that. On this screen, I'd like you to take note of the areas of text that are bold. I don't know if you can see them down here, but those contain links to internal pages on the website with market stats and things like that for that area, which is, I'm going to show you that as well. This is what that would look like if somebody clicked on Bluff Park, for example. Um, these are really easy to find on your page. I'll show you where they are. And I also want to show you that I included a custom page, like the link to the custom page on the website navigation bar at the top. So I can show you how to do that as well. And you can see, like, when you log on to Dublin's website, right there at the top, Ocean Boulevard Luxury Condos comes right up. If you open that up, it opens up that page. And I think that's pretty cool. Um, so you want your page to work for you behind the scenes. You need to have a little bit of SEO strategy. And I know that sounds like complicated, but I promise it's not. You're going to do a description that clearly tells the search engines what your page is about. You're going to be sprinkling in keywords naturally. Think like Ocean Boulevard condos in Long Beach instead of just condos. So it would be, your neighborhood homes. You want to make sure that you're sprinkling those in naturally in the language, and also using backlinks both to pages on your website and to credible external sources to help boost authority. That helps the search engine trust that you are, you know, an authority in this area. Okay, enough of this. I'm going to jump into the real world example of the website so you can see what it does, and then we'll get into building one. Okay, so you can see here I pulled up the page, and this is live. So, this is the banner we talked about, the headline, and here's all the things like featured oceanfront condo buildings in Alamitos Beach and Bluff Park. You can see I have links to Bixby Park and Bluff Park here that open up information about those parks, going to outside links. Um, I have internal links in here with things about Alamitos Beach and the stats and available listings and all of that. And the different buildings also, if there's a custom page in there already for the buildings, I do link to that as well. So, you can see Galaxy Towers. It's going to pull up everything available in Galaxy Towers, the stats of that. And I think that's pretty fun. Again, more links, better. And featured buildings on Ocean Boulevard in downtown Long Beach. So I've identified that there's two different lifestyles in the same farm area of Ocean Boulevard. You have the beach buildings, and then you have the downtown buildings, and they are not on the sand. So even though they're on Ocean Boulevard, they are not on the sand. So it's good to kind of point that out. They have more of a downtown lifestyle. So I have links to the convention center, performing arts center, sports arena, Pike outlets, things like that. I put a call to action right here. Wonder what your condo might be worth? Contact me, and I have a call now button. This is really cool if it's pulled up on mobile because it will dial Dublin's phone right there. I have links to fun things to do, Rainbow Lagoon, farmers markets, again, links to external sites with, days and times. And then, of course, the open house alerts and the map here from Google Maps. I'm going to jump over into BoldTrail now and show you how I built this. And here you can see we have the BoldTrail page open. Right here, you can see that we are in the edit features starting right at the top, I'll start with page title. You're going to want to name it something that, makes sense as a name. So this is Ocean Boulevard Luxury Condos. And if you click on advanced options, you're going to see the page title, and then this is the slug. So it would be your website slash ocean slash boulevard slash luxury slash condos. That's the full URL. But on the page title, it's going to be the name of the area. You're going to probably need to add a category for guides and resources, but it needs to be categorized. And down here you can see the meta tag description I put in, discover Ocean Boulevard condos in Long Beach from downtown high rises to blah, 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 blah. This is to tell Google what the page is about. And then I have meta tag keywords in here as well. You don't need to go too deep into keyword stuffing, but things like, Ocean Boulevard, condos in Long Beach, Ocean Boulevard condos, Long Beach condos, things like that to help the search engine be able to tell what this page is for. Okay. And, all of this is kind of drag and drop, pretty straightforward. This is an image box that I pulled an image and sized it on Canva, and then you can just drag it and drop it in here. Each of these areas, you're going to need to add a content box. So if I wanted to add an image, I just drag it over, and this is an image box, and you just add your image there. There's content, there's titles, paragraphs, and texts, and lists, and menus. There's lots of different ways to get around this. I used a title. It's good for your sites to have like what the title is as labeled as a title. It's like something to do with the back end, keyword tags and all of that. So you add that. You can change the font. You can change the weight of it. You can change the size and the color and the alignment and the spacing, all of that once you have something put in. And of course, this is a text box, and it's really easy. If you want to add a link, you just highlight it, click that, and you insert a link to whatever it is that you're trying to do. You're going to see here that there's all these boxes in a row, and for that you're going to need to change the rows. So if you click on rows, you're going to see the default is like one bar straight across, right? One bar straight across, but this is a bunch of little boxes. So you can scroll down and find like, okay, I want a bunch of images together, or I want a big image and something on the sides, or little, whatever. You can pick the configuration that you want. You drag it in here, and then that's different content blocks. So you could put, a text block here, an image block here, and set it up however you'd like. It's pretty simple, kind of straightforward. Buttons. So one of the things you can add is a button. And once that button is there, you can, again, do what do you want this button to do? You can have it open a web page, send an email, make a call, send a text, all of that. A lot of times if you're gonna be having it go to, let's say this one is available in Alamitos Beach and Bluff Park. It's all of the stuff on Dublin's website. I'm going to show you where to pull these links from. Everything available right there. So yeah, down here I did a button to make call, and I put his phone number in, and so that would work like that on somebody's phone. I feel like I'm going very fast, but all of this is, I feel like I've gone over some of this before, and if you need more on this, please let me know. You can see I did change like the content row color on here to highlight the fun things to do. That's something you can do, and I have different links to see more about concerts in the park, movies in the park. Maybe you want to rent a swan boat in Rainbow Lagoon or go to a farmer's market. Customize this for your area. I'm sure that there's a lot of cool things where you live. And down here, you can see that this box, when I hover over it, you see how it says HTML? This is added using an HTML box. And then this is a form. and we've gone over how to add forms as well. And the see what's available now. This form, when I set it up, it's going to send them to a page of open houses, but then it's going to sign them up for emails to open houses automatically. This is all a lot of things happening in the background. So I'm going to click on this HTML. Let's see. I'll show you. You can see that the properties here are, a Google Maps embed. So I'm going to show you that really quick because it's a little interesting. One second. You can see I've opened up Google Maps and I'm going to go to the area that we're talking about here. We're talking about this area down here, Ocean Boulevard. And so once you have the area that you want to highlight kind of zoomed in, you're going to click on this little hamburger sign up here and go down to share or embed map. And you're going to go to embed a map and you're going to copy the HTML. Then you go back to the BoldTrail page that you're building and you're going to paste that HTML code in there. There you go. You've done HTML. Ta-da! Isn't that fun? Okay, now that you have your page set up how you like it, we're going to add it to your website's home page navigation bar. So click on Web and IDX, and you're going to see custom navigation right here. And it'll say custom pages links. So you pick the custom pages that you want to link, and you hit save. Ta-da! That easy. Now let's jump over to the website really quick. And I'm going to show you, going from the home page, where we were able to get all of those cool neighborhood pages from. Now, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of your page, when you're on your public-facing website, so it would be yourname.thinkboutique.com, you're going to go to the areas we cover section, and for this area, I'm going to click on Long Beach, and it's going to pull up a general Long Beach page with the most popular, most expensive, least expensive listings, all the listings available, new ones, reduced listings, open houses, all of that. But what you want to keep doing is scrolling down. So here's the different areas in Long Beach. So if you were navigating all of Carson Park, you could do that. Lakewood Village, Plaza Rancho, Los Altos, south of Conant, those areas, you can pull up those pages as well. So let's just click El Dorado Park for funsies. And you can see this would pull up El Dorado Park. So you would just copy this URL and link back to this kind of page. So I'm going to go back. And I want to also show you, different from areas, they have neighborhoods. But in this case, because Dublin Farms, buildings, I was able to find some of the buildings that are popular on Ocean Boulevard. So let's see. Let's go down to Villa Riviera, the iconic Villa Riviera. So this pulls up the Villa Riviera building information. You can copy that link and link back to that on your page. That one shouldn't be here, but the rest of them are all listings available right now in Villa Riviera. It's kind of cool. And pretty much, yeah. So kind of dive into what your area is. So let's see. Lakewood Village, all of that. I chose for an example an extremely complex version of what could be done, but this could be very, very simple as well. I'm going to show you one in just a sec. Okay, here's an example of one I'm still in the process of building, but it's a much simpler layout. This is for 90808 in Long Beach, and you can see it's just a simple photo that I put into Canva and overlaid it with, 90808 Long Beach. I have a little description here about, what it's like to live there, a link to the Long Beach airport. And then I did a little sidebar here with a list of the different neighborhoods you might find in 90808 with an embedded map of the area. Remember, I just showed you how to do that. And yeah, I have South of Conant, Carson Park, El Dorado Park, Rancho Estates, Plaza, Lakewood Village, Old Lakewood City. I think that's most of them that are in this little zone. If you click on them, it should open up. Yeah, here it is. South of Conant Real Estate, and it pulls up one of those neighborhood pages again. Kind of a little fun way to, you know, show people the different neighborhoods that they might find. They all kind of run together, so that's kind of a fun thing to have available at open houses. View all available homes for sale in 90808. I created a squeeze page for this with a long amount of views before they have to register. So at least people can poke around a little bit. And I put a list of, similar fun things to do, links to like the El Dorado Nature Center. I put a residents of 90808 enjoy access to highly rated LBUSD schools. I have a picture of the school finder map here, and then a link to the school finder map there, and then a curious what your home might be worth, call now, and if you click that, it dials Dublin's phone number. Um, Again, this is a simpler version. You can build something like this much simpler for maybe your area if you're in a specific neighborhood. So that's just another option that you have. And you can see here on the editing side, again, it was a much simpler layout, not so many things. You can pull photos in, do the links, very simple. Now, to get the squeeze page, again, we would go into Lead Engine here on the side, and you go to IDX squeeze page. I would need to build it for, I'm an admin, so I have everybody, but there you go. I would just put in 90808, wait for it to populate that, and I'm going to leave all listing types open, and then property views allowed before registration. I put it at 10. You can leave it at 1 or immediate 2 as default or never. Sometimes I just do one that they can always look at it and they don't have to necessarily register. But all of that is up to you. There's different single property, seller squeeze, market reports. So you could put maybe a link to a 90808 market report. That might be fun. Maybe we'll do that right now. Hashtags, let's see. You can't start a hashtag with a number, so I'm going to put market report website 90808. Enter. So that's how I'll identify where any leads come in from that. And then I'm going to hit generate link, copy to clipboard. Let's go back to Web and IDX. I'm going to go to Pages. I'm going to go to Guides and Resources, and you can see here, Homes in 90808 is one of the pages I have under Guides and Resources. Now let's see, where would make sense to put it? Maybe I'll put it right here. Okay, so let's go to Button, and I'm going to drag it over here, and I'm going to take that URL that I just made and put it there. I'm going to change that background color to match all the other buttons on the page. And then I can just change what it says to view 90808 market report. And let's just make sure that the fonts are the same. And I can make it a little bigger. That looks good. And then save. So now I can go back to this website, hit refresh, and you'll see that the market report page is there, and it's going to prompt people to view the market report. They need to register. Kind of a little lead capture thing right there on the site. Very easy to put together. Um, yeah, so there's lots of different things you can do. I encourage you to play around with this. And if you have any questions, just let me know.